Hey students, this is your hints video for lesson 9.1 on surface area of prisms. So we're going to have rectangular and triangular prisms here. First I have an example of a rectangular prism. And we know we have pairs of rectangles in these. So I'm going to start with the front and the back, these little guys. So I have surface area equals, there's two of those rectangles that are each 1 1/5 times 3. Plus, I have this big side here and one on the left as well. So those two rectangles are each 3 by 5. Plus, I have the top and the bottom, and each of those rectangles are 1 1/5 times, oops, I wrote 6, but it's 1 1/5 times 5. There we go. Okay, now it's just a matter of simplifying. So our 1 1/5 times 3, I'm going to think of that as 6/5 times 3 over 1. So that's two sides that are each 18/5 plus my two sides that are each 15 square yards plus my two sides that are each 6/5 times 5 over 1. So those are each 6 square yards. Now I'm going to simplify further. So 2 times 18/5, that's 36/5, plus 2 times 15 is 30, plus 2 times 6 is 12. And I'm going to rewrite my 36/5, that's the same thing as 7 1/5. And then I'm going to add my 42. So that gives me a grand total of 49 1/5 square yard, or if you prefer, you could do 49.2 square yards. All right, next I have an example of a triangular prism. Remember that every triangular prism has two triangle bases, and those are the same, and then 3 rectangular faces, and some of those might be the same or they might all be different depending on what that triangle looks like. So let's start with the two triangular bases. So each of those bases, there are 2 of them, and they're each 1/2 times the base times the height. Now in this case, we have a right triangle, so the base and the height are actually the edges of the triangle. So that's 1/2 times 9 times 10. Plus, this time we have 2, we don't have 2 that are the same. We have all 3 that are different. We have one rectangle that's 9 by 10. That's this one right here. Plus, we have this rectangle here, which is 9 by 9. Plus, we have this rectangle in the back, which is 9 by 13.5. Now let's go ahead and simplify this. So 2 times 1/2 is just 1. So together, those two triangular bases have an area of 90 square inches. Plus, that blue side is also 90 square inches. Plus the red side is 81 square inches, plus, I need my calculator for this green one, 13.5 times 9 is 121.5 square inches. Now I'm just going to add all those up. And I get 382.5 square inches. Okay, next we have this problem with the cake. And it says 1 can of frosting covers about 280 square inches. Is 1 can of frosting enough to frost the cake? Now, as we're looking at this, generally our surface area accounts for 2 bases, but we don't frost the bottom of the cake. So this time we just have 1 rectangular base on top and 4 lateral faces. So my surface area will be, let's see, that top will be 13 by 9, plus the front and the back are each 13 by 3, There's two of those little rectangles. And then there's two rectangles that are even smaller on the sides, and those are each 9 by 3. Okay, so our total surface area, 13 times 9 is 117, plus 13 times 3 times 2 is 78, plus 9 times 3 times 2 is 54. I'm going to add all of those up to find my total surface area. And I get 249 square inches. Okay, so because the can of frosting covers 280 square inches, yes, we do have enough. So you can go ahead and fill those blanks in. All right, and the last one here, we have this prism that has trapezoidal bases, trapezoids on both the top and the bottom. So we need to find the area of each of those trapezoids. So there are two of them. And remember that the area of a trapezoid is the sum of the two bases. So that's 6 and 12 divided by 2. So you're really taking the average of the bases times the height, which in this case is 4. That's this right here. Okay, so each of those are 6 plus 12 divided by 2, the average of the two bases, times 4, plus, let's see, we've got these rectangles right here. There are two rectangles that are 3 by 5, plus we have this rectangle here, which is 6 times 3, plus we have this big rectangle in the back, which is 12 times 3. All right, so we'll go ahead and simplify this a little bit here. So 6 plus 12 is 18 divided by 2, that's 9. So that's the average of the two bases. So there are two trapezoids that are each 9 times 4. Plus, there are two sides that are 15 square inches. Plus, there's one side that's 18 square inches. Plus that one that was 12 times 3, that's 36 square inches. So you can go ahead and finish it from here to find the total surface area.